We were traveling in Aomori, up in northern Japan. We had one more night left on our trip before riding back to Tokyo on the Shinkansen. Then this happened.
緊急地震速報です。強い揺れに警戒してください。ドラマ出演中の2人に印象的な歌詞を聞いた。
I'll come back to that. We got off our shuttle bus in Aomori City, the capital of the prefecture. Hoshino Resorts KAI Hotel, the amazing resort we were at in my last video in case you missed it, transported us up here. It was a really nice day, so we went straight to the waterfront to check out the view. Clear blue skies, and you could just about see to the tip of Honshu Island, which is the main island in Japan. We explored the area for a bit and stopped over at the Nebuta Museum Wadase, which is a museum that showcases the local illuminated float art. So walking around Aomori in the winter can be a little tricky. The sidewalks get frozen over, and on sunnier days like this, some parts can get kinda slushy. Definitely think about your footwear if you're visiting in the winter. It was around lunchtime, so we went over to Aomori Gyosai Center for some nokedon. Aomori is known for nokedon, which is basically a kaisendon, or a bowl of seafood on rice. Unlike other places where you'd probably pick your bowl off a menu, you basically get to build your own bowl here. We purchased scripts, went to a designated stand to get our bowl of rice, and walked around the aisles of vendors looking for what we want in our bowl. Each vendor sells items for personal nokedon bowls, so we were buying our food one slice at a time with the scripts, and they'd add each item to our bowl for us. It was the first time doing something like this for me, so it was kind of a fun experience. After we were done, we found a small table and enjoyed our meal. I made sure to get some chutoro, salmon, ikura, even shirako. It was really good. Off to the next stop, Owani Onsen. We caught an express train through the snowy fields, apple orchards, and past Mount Iwaki. It was a nice early afternoon ride. Owani Onsen is a small, older onsen or hot spring town. A van picked us up at the station and took us to our hotel for the night, Hoshino Resorts KAI Tsugaru. If you've seen some of my other videos, you might recognize this resort chain as I've stayed at some other KAI locations. They never disappoint, and each is dedicated to diving deeply into the culture of the local area, which is really cool. For example, this one uses this diamond pattern throughout the resort. It's called Tsugaru Kogenzashi and is a traditional embroidery that's been passed down in the region. Despite this resort being located in a somewhat secluded area, you really don't need to leave. The experience at KAI Tsugaru changes slightly because of the seasons. Since we went in the wintertime, they had these igloos set up where we could go in and sip a hot drink. The onsen bath was unique because it was filled with apples, something Aomori Prefecture is famous for. We ended up soaking in the bath a few times while we were here. Dinner was fantastic. It's focused around maguro, or tuna, something else the prefecture is known for. We opted for the upgraded kaiseki course, which had maguro made in all sorts of ways: tartare, tempura, sashimi, even negima nabe, which is a mix of negi, or green onion, and maguro, or tuna. Just amazing food here. If you want to know more about this resort, I'll leave a link in the description for you to check out. After dinner, like at all KAI resorts, there's a little show featuring something cultural from the local area. This one was a shamisen performance and was the best I've seen so far at any KAI resort that I've stayed at. The shamisen is a stringed instrument, and one of the main styles came from this area. A former national champion headed the performance, and a resident student of his performed with him, and they killed it. And then,
緊急地震速報です。強い揺れに警戒してください。ドラマ出演中の2人に印象的な歌詞を聞いた。
途中ですが、ここで緊急地震速報です。東北、関東、新潟では強い揺れに警戒してください。現在、東京渋谷区にあるこのスタジオも揺れています。緊急地震速報が出ています。東北、関東、新潟では強い揺れに警戒してください。
If you've lived in Japan for a while, you probably have experienced something like this at some point. A 7.1 to 7.3 magnitude earthquake hit off the coast of Fukushima and Miyagi prefectures, which are also in the northern Honshu area. Living in Japan, you get pretty used to the small quakes here and there, and thank goodness Japan's buildings are generally really strong against earthquakes, but this one had us swaying for quite a long time. The next morning, we sat down for a delicious Japanese breakfast centered around a local dish, kayaki miso. It's scallops soaked in miso, cooked in a scallop shell, and then topped with lightly beaten eggs. Yum. But that's when we heard the news. The Shinkansen tracks were being inspected for damage, and there actually was some that ended up taking it offline for about a week or more. Flights were already limited due to being decreased because of Corona, and their prices skyrocketed and sold out quickly. So we were stuck in Aomori. Then an aha moment. We realized that if we caught the express train a couple hours further south to Akita Prefecture, we could spend the night there and then fly out from Akita Airport. Whew, problem solved. We checked out and visited Hirosaki, another city in Aomori, as we had originally planned to do. Because of the change of plans, we actually had a little more time, which was a good thing because there was a lot more to see here than I had expected. To be honest, I found Hirosaki to be the most interesting of the cities that we went to in Aomori. The vibe here is really different. You can sense the outside influence. There are a bunch of Western-style buildings around town that date back to the Meiji era, and they really give the city a unique character. We stopped at one of them, the former Fujita family villa. They have a popular cafe here, and we were able to sit in the veranda and enjoy our lunch of apple curry and apple pie, something they're known for. Nice atmosphere and good food. After we had our fill, we walked over to Hirosaki Castle. The grounds were quite frozen over, icy walkways and completely rock-solid moats. What was actually quite surprising was that there was a festival going on. Now, I hadn't heard of a festival being carried out in the past year with everything going on, and it was kind of surreal to see. But then again, there's not a whole lot of people here, and it's not like Tokyo where over 1 million people can pile into an area just for a festival. How nice. We stopped at a small shop to pick up some omiyage, or gifts to take home. Apples, of course. Like I mentioned before, Aomori Prefecture is known for apples, but Hirosaki in particular is. Hirosaki actually accounts for 20% of all the apple production in Japan. And then we went to Starbucks. This location, the Hirosaki Koenmae Starbucks, is one of the more notable ones in Japan due to the building it's in and how it's designed to naturally fit into the environment. It used to be the official residence of the commander of the Japanese 8th Division, and then it was the mayor's residence before being registered as one of Japan's tangible cultural assets. So there's history to this one. And then we started off on our detour to Akita. Yeah, so slight change of plans. The earthquake really kind of messed things up. So the Shinkansen are offline for the next couple of days at least. And because of that, all the flights out of Aomori was booked up and got really expensive. So what we're doing now is catching the train down to Akita. And we're going to spend tonight in Akita City. Maybe just have a dinner like of some local foods. Can't really do much because we're going to be getting in at night. But gonna have dinner, and then we got a flight out of Akita Airport and heading back to Tokyo tomorrow. So yeah, see you in Akita. As soon as we got into Akita Station, we could see the local culture right before us. Namahage, which are troll-like demons from local folklore. Interesting. Our first stop was looking for local omiyage, so I picked up some butter mochi, some rice toppings, and udon that looked really good. We tried to get some local food for dinner as well. So Akita is known for Hinai Jidori chicken, one of Japan's most famous breeds, which is free range and has high quality meat. So we got some oyakodon, which is chicken and egg on rice. It's super good. Akita is also known for kiritampo, which is pounded rice on a stick that gets grilled. We got some of that in a nabe or hot pot. And then finally some iburigako, which is smoked radish. On a cold night up in northern Japan, this food really hit the spot. The next morning, we caught the bus and headed out to the airport to fly back to Tokyo. Wait, look at these Akita dog poop cookies. Anyways, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.